CrunchTime Season 12. This is Episode 6. I'm Sarah Reinhardt. This is Dillon Walton, and this is Clayton Carroll. Feels good to be back in Studio B today. What did y'all do for spring break? Any good plans? Any fun stuff?
I had a very good spring break. Got to go up to Cincinnati on a mission trip. Okay. Kept up with the Govs, both basketball, baseball. It was a good, relaxing week, but also got to go on a mission trip, and that was a lot of fun. So it was a really, really good spring break.
ASUN tournament. Had a lot of fun with that. What else did I do? I went home, seen my mom, seen my family, seen my grandmother, seen everybody. So excited to be at home. I haven't been at home since, I think Christmas was slow because I was here for a day. We had a game, a couple games before. I went home for maybe Christmas the day after. Then I literally came back for another game. So. Yeah, I think that's really it. Had some good food. My mom barbecued, baked beans, smoked sausage, real pork chop, cornbread. Good Lord have mercy, some good Kool-Aid.
Now you're talking.
Yeah, so it was. It felt good. Oh, she made some peach cobbler.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm content with spring break. Sarah, how was your spring break?
It was good. I just spent a lot of time with my dog. You know, she's my favorite thing on the planet. Just spent a lot of time doing schoolwork, getting everything ready for grad school. Everything, just getting my life together.
Yeah.
Just getting it all together.
What type of dog you got?
A black lab. Her name is Luna.
Oh, okay.
She's gorgeous and perfect.
So you do know I like my food. You brought up food. I got to say something about food real fast on spring break. So, of course, I was up in Cincinnati. Me and the guys on the mission trip tried Skyline Chile, Cincinnati staple.
Oh, my God.
Don't go. It's awful. It's so bad we ordered Taco Bell via DoorDash right after. Don't go to Skyline Chile.
No, you went from Skyline Chile. I don't know if have you ever heard of Skyline Chile?
Yeah,
but I don't think I want to.
No, it's like spaghetti with chili combined, but the chili tastes like chocolate and gingerbread.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie. It's
that
disgusting.
Shouldn't be.
And then put plastic cheese
on
top of it.
One of my favorite YouTubers did a challenge of 7 days straight, 3 meals a day eating Skyline Chile.
Oh my gosh.
So, shout out to Sir Yacht. Only the real ones know Sir Yacht.
Is he still alive?
Yeah.
Okay.
He do eating challenges. That's his whole niche on YouTube.
Good for him. Good for him. He did them eating challenge. Well, we're gonna get into basketball, Govs men's basketball to be specific. So, they lost in their second round of the ASUN tournament against Queens in their physical match, 90-83. They struggled in this last portion of the season, starting versus Jacksonville University. In a trip to Florida to the end of conference tournament, they struggled to beat UNF with a lucky Anton Brookshire buzzer beater and lost top-seeded matchup between UCA at home, and then again lost to Bellarmine in last regular season game 90-70. So if that isn't depressing, I don't know what is. And then in their second round, the ASUN began with Stetson taking a 14-point lead, and the Govs would ultimately win 69-60. So that felt good. Marshall had 21 points, 11 rebounds. Brookshire had 15 points. Parker had 13, 10 rebounds. We just had a good game, outscored the Hatters 37-23 in the second half. And then we lost to our current ASUN championships in the Queen Royals, 90-83. Marshall had 35 points in this one, 13 rebounds. 30, sorry. Wow.
That would have been a Hall of Fame night. That would have been a Hall of Fame night.
Hang the banner already. Just retire his number right after that one.
And then McCubbin had 16 points and 8 rebounds, and then Colin with 16 points and 6 assists. They gave up 12 made threes to Queens, and then went 17-28 from the field. What is that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Free throw line. Yeah.
All the letters got me messed up in here. But yeah, how are we feeling about these last 5 games?
Man, we both gonna be yapping a lot. This is how I sport.
So
this is our baby right here.
Yeah, you're a bigger yapper than me, but I'm gonna just say it was just not the best. Those 5 games were tough. It started off with, like you said, Central Arkansas losing at home. Well, it started off in Florida. They struggled, didn't play their brand of basketball, but they was able to get 2 big wins. Then come home and you lose, a war with UCA. It was a number 1, number 2. And then you had the opportunity to be the outright winner, and you lose to Bellarmine, who's, I want to say bottom half of the ASUN bracket when it comes to the men's side. So just not the way you want to go about the season. And we're going to talk about some other things later on. So I'm very opinionated on that topic later on. But it was just tough, man. Coach Gibbs said it in the presser after the loss to Central Arkansas. He said, we'll know if we truly lost this game for the rest of the season. And that was very important for me to hear, because it was like, man, like, you know, when you lose a big game, it's normally the response. It's not about the X's and O's of the duration of the game. How did you respond? And we did not respond well.
No.
I mean, lost in the second round. We were 15-3 in the conference 15-2 at the time, 14-2, whatever it was, and we dropped the ball. Everybody was ready to celebrate. You know, I'm gonna talk my stuff a little bit. I said I was gonna wait. You know, we was all in that hotel, 24 teams in the Jacksonville tournament, and you know, Governor Faithful showed up and showed out for both programs, but everybody knew who they was there to see. Everybody knew they was there to see the men's basketball team, and when they, you know, unfortunately they choked in one of the biggest games of the season, you know. Everybody was like, "Oh man, everything's over." You know, no, it wasn't over. You know, we got, like I said, we got more topics to talk about.
Oh yeah.
But you know, when you put all your eggs in one basket, that's what happened. So it's kind of tough to see. But I mean, if anybody know Coach Gipp, he don't know how to lay down. So I'm expecting, you know, what's it, year 4 for him now coming up? I'm expecting a lot of good things.
I think the biggest thing, like you mentioned, the last 5 games. I said this about the women's team so much. It was like a broken record. It doesn't matter what happens in November, December, January, February. It matters what happens in March. And for the Govs, unfortunately, they were incredible up until March. So, and like, it was still one of the best seasons like in recent memory. Like, it was a blast. Like, all of the games seemed like we were beating teams by 20 at home. Like, it was just a great time to be a Gov. But it's a situation where maybe Austin Peay peaked a little bit too early, because basketball, it's all about March momentum. That's just how it is. I mean, look at High Point out there gaining some momentum and winning the NCAA tournament. And like Texas, if you look at them, they're in the Sweet 16. I picked that in my bracket, by the way. So just got to mention that. But it's all about momentum. It's all about getting hot in March. And the Govs didn't. They got hot early, which it gave them a regular season championship, which is still a very impressive accomplishment. Like, don't want to take away from that at all.
Agreed.
But basketball is a tournament sport. It's all about getting hot at the right time. And unfortunately, the Govs got cold at the right time in Jacksonville.
And you want to know something, Clayton? And Sarah, I'm gonna include you on this too, because I don't want to leave you out. A lot of people put a lot of stock in the regular season championship, and me personally, look, I think I'm one of the most competitive people to exist. I compete with you of who can run to the bathroom fast. So it really doesn't matter. And my thing is, you know, yes, the regular season, you know, champion, the cold regular season champion, that's good and all, but Queens didn't win a regular season championship and won the conference championship that got them the most important thing, which was the bid. So it's like,
and the ring.
So it's like, and then I've heard, you know, from Kendall Ball, I heard that Queens and Elon is combining schools on like an academic athlete. I don't know. You know, I got to check with my source on that. I
think the athletic programs are going to remain separate, but the schools, I don't know.
Yeah, so
it's like a situationship with universities. I don't know.
You basically lost to a school that's going through a divorce right now. So it's like, come on, man. We were a top dog in the ASUN. We was the heads to top off. We was at the head of the snake, and we lost because we didn't have the response. So that hurts me the most. When we had the opportunity, and I'm gonna get into why we lost when we talk about some other things, but man, that just sucks, man.
It does. That sucks. Because like we all thought about March. I mean, we thought about the tournament. Yeah. Like even Coach Gipp in the press conference, I think after UCA, or it might have been after Lipscomb, he was in exact words, "Woo-wee, we've got some lofty goals." Yeah. So you hate to see the season come to an end like that, but just got cold when it mattered the most.
Yeah. Now with the transfer portal, Marshall's staying, McCoven is leaving. How do y'all feel about these decisions that they made?
I'm going to let you go first. I'm going to be long-winded.
Okay, so obviously when you're like Austin Peay, you hate to say it, we're just a small market mid-major. You're going to see people move on. Like, that's just part of it. McCoven leaving, like, you don't want to say it's like expected in a way, but he didn't have the year that he wanted this year after last year. He was kind of outplayed in a few games. Like, I'm not surprised by McCoven. Glad Marshall's staying. If you can get Ja'Cory Robinson and Zyree Collins to stay, which like they very well could, you could be really building something special for next year too. I mean, if you can keep Zyree in place and Marshall and Ja'Cory Robinson, like this team could be really, really good come next year once again. It's just about getting those players to stay, because it is hard when you're a low-level mid-major. Like, you hate to say it, but this is oftentimes like a farm system for the bigger schools. Like, you hate to say it, but that's just part of it. Like Austin Peay can't compete with like a I don't know, a
Ole Miss.
UCF or like
Yeah.
a Big 12. Like, you're not going to be able to compete with that with resources, NIL, facilities. You just can't.
Yeah.
But you can also, like Zyree being a freshman, you can get him another year and get him developed, and he can really contribute for you next year. So, transfer portal, it will be very interesting to see what happens through the remaining few games.
You know,
Weeks, not games.
Yeah. But, you know, contrary to popular belief or anything like that, I think I'm excited to see McCubbin leave because I feel like his freshman year, he was really good. He came on during the conference play. He was hot. And then this year, I didn't see the same intensity the majority of the season. If I'm not mistaken, I want to say he barely had 2 or 3 games over 20 points, and we seen him have a plethora of games last season over 20, over 30. So it's like, I get we had more offensive firepower with Zyree, with CP3-2, Anton. We had a lot of offensive firepower, but my thing is McCubbin has so much potential in other facets of his game. He's 6'8", 6'9". He's long. He has a very long wingspan. He can handle the ball. He can play great defense. I mean, he had 16 and 8 against Queens. Just because you can shoot the ball and your offense is what you came to school for, you want to develop and get to a bigger program. Well, we seen when other offensive talents are in the picture, your game diminishes to a certain level. And to me, that's frustrating because I had a lot of faith seeing McCubbin this upcoming season, this season, and I just didn't get what I wanted from Tate. So that I'm kind of excited to see him maybe venture out somewhere else because I definitely think, and there's no disrespect to Tate if you watch this, Coach Gipp and the team, I think you're a phenomenal player, but I just wanted more. You could have had 3 you could have been Defensive Player of the Year. You could have 3 steals, 3 blocks. You're very capable of doing so, in my opinion. You know, I just feel like he had so many intangibles that he did not use to his repertoire. I'm bringing out that dictionary today.
You pulled up the thesaurus before you came in
but
here.
But yeah, it just that sucks, man. But I'm happy to see him, you know, venture out somewhere else. You know, I'm gonna keep up with all the AP guys, no matter wherever they go. But hopefully, you know, he taps into that extra potential outside the offensive end. And Rashad Marshall coming back, that's huge. 35 and 13 in your last final game here, and we seeing that for another year. That's huge. So excited to see how they build around Rashad. But man, Tate McCubbin, that stings a little
Also,
bit.
I think if you can get Quan to come back after he was injured for most of the year, I think if he comes back, you could really, really be keeping some key pieces together.
And then, you know, they gave Gipp the extension, so they're going to throw that money at him. They're going to bring the Brinks truck at Gipp, man. They're going to bring the Brinks truck.
Speaking of that, how important do you guys think this move is for the team?
It's huge. Because, like, with Coach Gipp, yes, he's an incredible basketball coach, but he's a mentor.
Yeah.
He has built a brotherhood here at Austin Peay. That's the word he's used. That's the word we've used a lot. Sometimes it's a little bit bigger than basketball.
Facts.
And Corey Gibson knows the X's and O's. Like, his basketball ability is incredible. Like, I would not be surprised if one day he coaches like a high mid-major, low-power full score. Like, I would not be surprised by that at all. Like, Coach Gipp is that phenomenal of a head coach. But he also just fits Austin Peay and what we need. Right. He embodies the military town in Clarksville. He is Austin Peay.
He's Clarksville.
He's Austin Peay. He's Clarksville. So, like, that's huge for this program.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't got nothing to say. You said it all. Coach Gibb, 20 to 29, 2030. I'm expecting a championship.
Yeah,
we've been close. We've been regular season champs. We've been running up for ASUN champs. Sooner or later, that championship is coming home in this ASUN UAC consortium that they'll announce later on in the summer. But I'm expecting a chip. I mean, if I'm Harmon and if I'm the community, we've been close twice. You know, 3rd time's a charm. So I think depending on how next year goes, it could be next year, but it can be any one of those years through 2029, 2030. Good Lord have mercy. Can y'all believe we in almost
insane. Wow. I saw that number on there and I almost threw up. That is weird.
That's crazy.
That number is insane to me. But before we move on to women's basketball, we've got another clip of Dillon sitting down with President Licari. This time they were talking about the Govs hockey team, and make sure you guys stay tuned for next week for a little special preview on their first win. So here's that clip for you.
Take a turn to the sports things. Part of Austin Peay Sports Network. That's what we are a part of. And I'm going to take a quick turn, not talk about any of the major sports.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about club hockey.
Club hockey.
Hockey.
I love our hockey team, man.
That's where I want to start off. Not only are you in attendance for club hockey, you bring the energy.
Well, it's my favorite sport. I mean, don't tell Coach Ferris or Gipp or anybody, right? But and I grew up in Minnesota, and so as the first sport I ever played, and I've loved it my whole life. And so when the arena opened up with that sheet of ice that's, available year round, I was like, man, we have to have a hockey team. We just do. So very happy to bring that here. Help from the Predators got us up and running initially. And, man, that team is fun to watch. It's fun to see the fans engage in it, too. I think we sell out pretty much every game. So we've got a great atmosphere for them. And, when you see me at hockey or, frankly, any of our other sports, I'm more of a fan than the president there, man. And if I need to bang on the glass to celebrate a goal or get the ref's attention, I will do that.
Yeah, no, I've heard you at some of the women's games. But that's what you want to have a president. You want them to care. You want them to be involved, especially in athletics. But do you think the club hockey could eventually be an official sport here at Austin Peay?
Well, that would be a long way off. Hockey is really surprisingly expensive. And that's the challenge. And so I think right now the goal is to be the best club hockey team that we can be. And then eventually, if it evolves into something else, great. But the immediate goal right now is to make sure that our guys are playing at a high level in the space that they're at.
Yep. And I think they've started to develop. It's only year two, so a lot of work to put in.
Yep.
But I think they've done good so far because the crowd shows up.
It's fun to watch it, man.
It is exciting. We broadcasted there. Our entire broadcast crew, the people in this room, people outside the room. So we see you all the time. We love that you interact with us on social media too.
You guys do a great job there. I'll just give you all a shout out because that's a hard sport to broadcast.
It is.
And so you guys are keeping up with it, and I'm pretty impressed with what you're doing.
We appreciate it. But like you said, new sports, women lacrosse. Inaugural game was just a few weeks ago now.
Yep.
How does it feel to be a part of that? And what was the process of bringing lacrosse not only to the South, but to the state of Tennessee? Yeah,
that's pretty cool. We're really proud of that because we're the only public university in the state with a Division I scholarship lacrosse program, a women's lacrosse program. And so we're unique in that aspect. And so it took a lot. We took a bold move. Gerald Harrison, when he was the AD here, and I sat down and we were going through some opportunities that we maybe had to expand women's opportunities in athletics here. And we went for lacrosse for a couple of reasons. One is we could be, unique in that aspect. But two, it's a really fast-growing sport. It's one of, if not the fastest-growing sport on the East and the Southeast. And so we wanted to tap into that energy. And we had a great opportunity to hire a phenomenal coach in Melissa Rausch. And so she's off, obviously, with a tremendous start. Winning their inaugural game, that was phenomenal.
Dramatic fashion.
In dramatic fashion, too, right at the end, man, 15-14, I think it was. And then they hit the road this weekend for their first set of away games. And so they're hitting a lot of firsts. It's pretty fun to watch them. And our student athletes on the team, man, they're phenomenal.
Yep, they are phenomenal. We had the chance to be a part of their media day.
Yeah.
We gave them some access. So beautiful team to be a part of. Melissa Rausch, fashionable head coach, top tier, great personality.
She's got that great hat, man.
Yeah, she does. She does. She keep the hats. But like you mentioned, former athletic director Gerald Harrison, you guys work together and moving from the OVC to the ASUN. What led to that departure, and how hard was it to leave a lot of that history on the table from Austin Peay going to a new conference?
Yeah, so it's always a little bit of a challenge to dealing with the history and the storied rivalries, with Murray and all of that kind of stuff. However, as a university administrator and as a university president, your job is to look to the future of the institution. And we saw a better future for Austin Peay State University in a conference that was going to be more focused in the South and Southeast, more focused on schools that were aggressively growing and getting better at athletics. And so we saw an opportunity here to sort of level up in a couple of different ways by leaving the OVC. It decoupled us from some of those rivalries. We still try to schedule Murray as much as possible. Yep. Frankly, most of the time they're a little reluctant to play us in a couple of sports anyway.
As they should be.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
So I get that. Yeah, it goes on top. But I get the disappointment maybe that some of our fans have in losing some of those rivalries. But in college athletics, man, there's always a new rival around the corner, and we've got a good one now with North Alabama and things like that. So we'll be all right.
Yes, so make sure you guys stay tuned next week for that little bit more tidbit information on the hockey team. We're going to move right into women's basketball. They had a magical, fantastical run this weekend. They made it to the championship as the number 8 seed. They beat number 1 seed in EKU in a battle, catching fire in the fourth quarter against Stetson, and everything involved was, again, truly magical. Just beautiful. Dillon, since you were there, can you talk about the experience for this team in Jacksonville?
Man, where can I start? I know we on a time crunch, so oh my God, man, that was just one of the most beautiful moments I've ever been a part of. Not a lot of people can say they were on a championship run. Not a lot of people can say they were on a Cinderella story run as well. So that was one of the moments I'll never forget for the rest of my life. Honestly, it was so fun. We was out in Florida for a week. And at some point, I mean, I really left that like broadcaster role, and I was like part-time manager for a piece of it. I was helping do laundry, going to the grocery store, helping out in practice. I was doing way more than what my role was listed as, and I have no problem doing so.
Yeah.
That was the best time of my life. The last 2 seasons have been phenomenal, but being in the hotel with them, going to different practices with them, and I can't say everything because it was against some of the rules of some of the stuff we did, but but just being a part of their entire journey was phenomenal. I remember being EKU, hugging Coach P, chopping it up with Coach Britt, talking to Coach Vic, the bus driver. Shout out David. Man, it was just like things on the bus. Like when you're with a team, and I gotta give a shout out to Zay because this is Zay's last episode. He's going to other endeavors in his life. So shout out to Zay. But Zay like it's hard to just recreate those moments on the bus or certain moments on the field. Like when you just with the team, you with the team, and it's like if you know type. But it's man, it was beautiful. Beating Stetson that fourth quarter run, Maya Williams hit like 4 deep threes. It was phenomenal. Even the game against Jacksonville, up and down it was, but man, I wouldn't trade it for nothing. And actually, I would trade it for a championship trophy.
Yeah,
so, yeah. Other than that, though, I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world. It was literally like everything I can dream of, bro. I'm so happy I was able to be a part of this team for 2 years. It's something I'll never forget, man. I even got the pins. I got the credential. I should have brought the credential, but
you should wear them all the time.
Yeah,
just
but
from now on.
I get emotional. I can't even put it into words because, man, like I may never get to experience something like that in the rest of my career. I hope I do, but
you got to.
Yeah, I got to. I just didn't get to hoist up the trophy. So, but it's not.
Maybe next time.
It is what it is.
again.
But it was, who knows? Well, maybe Clayton next year.
Yeah, Clayton can do
hopefully,
it.
yeah.
There you go.
So maybe Clayton. So, but it was a beautiful season.
Yeah.
It was a fun season. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was just. I don't think I didn't like. All 24 teams stayed in the same hotel.
Oh.
So all the men's teams, all the women's
Y'all
teams
prank
that was
each
a part of
other?
it. No, we didn't.
Oh,
We
that's
wasn't doing a lot
fun.
of talking.
Well, might as well prank them if you're
No.
in the same hotel.
It's straight beef. It's straight beef, and we still had to see them at the. We seen every team at the hotel except
That
Jacksonville.
continental breakfast together.
Yeah, like we always had meeting spaces on the same hallway and stuff.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, I remember I was watching that EKU game in the friendly confines of Castle Heights. And I was like, and hear me out, this was one of the sloppiest basketball games I have ever watched in my life. 0 of 23 from 3, but that's what it takes sometimes. Like sometimes you need a game where you don't play well and you still win to spark a run.
Yep.
And that's what we did. I mean, we beat EKU. We needed that game to be sloppy, really. And when we won that, and then I watched us put belt to Stetson on a bus on the way to Cincinnati.
Yep.
That was awesome. Maya Williams went ballistic.
Yeah,
what
that
was it?
was
Hit
beautiful.
5 threes in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I think so.
4 threes. I mean, just went on a tirade. And then the Jacksonville game, the heartbreaker. But still,
I've never
I
cried
gotta-
so hard in my life, bro.
I got to do it one more time. Just one more. This is the last basketball episode. I got to do it one more
What
time.
you got?
It doesn't matter what happens in November, December, January, February. It matters what happens in March. And the
Agreed.
Govs got hot at the right time, and they've got some momentum heading up to next year. Because, I mean, if you look, Jemiah Branton's a freshman. She very well may come back. Tweedy went out this season with an unfortunate injury. You know she's going to want to come back.
Yep.
We don't know for sure, but you can imagine Tweety is not the kind of person to stay down.
Yeah, no.
Tweety is like a spark plug. Like, I mean, her and Jemiah Branton in the backcourt next year,
beware.
Watch
APB
out.
for the rest of the ASUN
Watch
UAC, man.
out. And then if you can get someone like Navi to stay, I mean, if you can get like 2 out of those 3 to stay, watch out.
Yeah, watch it. I'm excited.
Yeah. Let's get into the Women's National Invitation Tournament. After losing to Jacksonville University in the championship game, the Govs basketball team earned a spot in the Women's National Tournament. They faced Rio Grande Valley, where they lost 71-59. Here's that clip for y'all.
Yeah.
What do y'all think about that game? How are we feeling?
Honestly, I just think, it's hard to play another game after you had the championship in your hand. That's
Yeah.
honestly what I think it was. And I can't blame them. Basically you're playing for, you're just not playing for the big one. You're just not playing for the big one. And you can just tell we came out flat-footed. We trailed the majority of the game. We had a good run. What was that, the second quarter? But that was
that
was really it.
I just told you, it just kind of felt off that whole day. Like, just something felt off. And, like, no shade to UT Rio Grande Valley. Very good team. Very well coached by Coach Lane Lord. I mean, they're a good squad. But it felt like a game that, you probably should have won.
Yep.
But just the way that, like, everything came about, like the heartbreak at the end of the season, and then finding out, we're playing another game at home in, 3 days. We found out Sunday night. We played that on a Thursday, so I guess that's 4. But, I mean, Jemiah played well, 20 points. It just felt kind of, just like the whole day felt off. I'm sure the routine was kept the same, but like you said, it's just hard to play after a heartbreak like that. So it was a tough end of the season, but also you got an opportunity to play postseason basketball, and that's huge. It really is.
And I know we got to get out of this here, but I want to say one last thing. Clayton, I'm going to miss calling games with you, man.
Me too.
I was thinking back the other day, like, I remember when a big 3-point basket would go, and I would constantly I would just hit you all the time.
I think you hugged me at one point.
Yeah, like, I'm going to miss all of those days,
my
man,
gosh,
all
it
those
was so
games. We had a lot of good games this season. Win, lose, or draw. I mean, I think this is one of the most entertaining seasons I can remember following a team. So it was fun to be right there with you for your first year calling collegiate basketball. So, can't wait to listen to you, watch you be a part in some capacity next season, hopefully. But, man, it was a heck of a season.
It was so much fun. I'd say the same about you, just like you just mentoring me throughout the whole season. Just whenever you jump up and hug me by the neck after Maya would hit a big 3 or something, like, dude, I'm going to miss that. So it was an absolute blast this season. It was so much fun.
Well, thank you guys for joining us on part 1 of Crunch Time. If you want to see all the rest of our spring sport updates, go to part 2. That'll be up too.
Do it.
As always, go subscribe, follow our socials. They'll be popping up here in a second. But thank you guys for joining.
Yeah,
there's
always,
that.
This is Clayton last one.
Clayton's
Yeah, last
one.
episode of the
Y'all say
season.
bye.
Yeah.
Bye, Clayton.
Adios.
Bye, Clayton. All right. Thank you guys for joining us.
Let's go pee.